Hello, my friends. I hope you're doing well today. I figured I'd do another gameplay video because I just felt like doing one. There wasn't too much in the way of big news today or anything, that I wanted to like elaborate on. Nothing monumental or anything like that. So I was like, let me do some gameplay. So I'm gonna do gameplay of Iron Crypticle, which is coming out on the Switch. Oh, it's the 13th or the 14th? I think it's February 13th. And it's available to preload right now. And if you do so right now, you can get a 10% discount on the game. I have not been paid to say this. I'm just, those are the facts. That's what's going on. I'm not allowed to give a review until a later date, but you're watching me play for the very first time. Like, this is the very first time I fired up the game, so get ready for some bad gameplay. Excuse me, but I thought I'd give it a go and see how it is because I like games that use pixel graphics. Let's see. Okay, I like all games, but I have a certain affinity for pixel graphics, and I would say, outside of that, this game has, at least the trailer makes it look like it combines Gauntlet and Smash TV. And those are two big parts of, whoop, sorry, that's my phone. Two big parts of what I played when I was a kid. Up, down, or left, up, down, or left. I played a lot of those games with friends because they were multiplayer experiences. And they were a lot of fun. I didn't really play them. I mean, I did play them in the arcade, but mostly at home, like the NES conversion of Gauntlet and the Super Nintendo version of Smash TV. I believe it was out on the NES. Maybe I'm wrong. And I felt it was better to play those games at home because games like Gauntlet and Smash TV were made to steal quarters. Steal as many quarters as possible. They just, like, bosses were multi-tiered and had seemingly impossible to avoid attacks, and they just wanted you to pump in quarters. Can I touch this? I guess so. Oh, okay. That changes weapons. So yeah, it felt a little more player-friendly to play them at home, and like I said, that's why we did. Sorry, I'm getting nervous because it's telling me I gotta go. Oh, I guess this guy, oh boy, is gonna make me leave. Can I kill you? That looks like a no to me. Alright, I'm out of here. And I like that this game, oh boy, there's one room on the whole map with a skull. And this is it. I like games that, oh, you don't keep weapons when you go in between those. I like games that have a bit of mystery to it, and I was reading the press release. This guy is angry. And the press release said they referenced Bubble Bobble because they said there's some mystery to the game, and there was certainly mystery to Bubble Bobble. There were, you picked up things that you didn't know what they did. You spelled out letters, and you're like, where is this taking me? There was secret doors to get to, like, the real ending, all kinds of stuff like that, which, I don't think games do too much nowadays, which kind of bothers me. I would say it's better for players overall, but I feel games today don't have a lot of mystery to them, and a lot of the gameplay is, like, spoon-fed to the player. Like, you have pop-up windows that are telling you what to do, or a character that's saying, attack him here, or, endless option screens that give you, like, 6 to 8 pages of info on what every item is, and how much it's worth and what you do with it. And I kind of miss the exploration of finding out that stuff on your own. Where am I? I can leave. Oh, I gotta kill this guy. Oh shoot, dude, work with me here. Oh, okay. Oh, I have health. I like it. Oh, is there a... Oh, I used a... I should be... You know what I should have done? Actually read the controls so I could see what they do. I was seeing if, like, I had a... Like a dash or something. to get away quicker. Oh, I do! Woo-hoo-hoo! Look at that! Alright, well that helps. Oh boy. And I do like playing these games on my own, but they're definitely, I think, personally, they're more fun multiplayer. Obviously, you can see there's room for 3 other people to join me here. And then you all fight over food and items and all kinds of good stuff. I don't, it's interesting, like I said, I'm coming from someone who played those classic games, quote-unquote classic games. Classic and certainly in terms of age. I don't know how many people look back on them fondly. But it's interesting to see what gamers today think of games like this. Like, I don't know if they find them repetitive or boring or too old school, because like this is very like classic arcade style design. So I could see some people being like, nah, the games have moved past this. We don't want gameplay like this anymore. I see that a lot with games. You know, people will play a certain genre and they weren't playing games when I was a kid because they weren't around, obviously. And they're like, oh, why would anybody play this? This is terrible. This is boring. This I don't even know what I'm doing. It's too difficult. All those complaints. Now, the difficulty thing has always irked me because I love a good difficult game that doesn't baby you and doesn't adjust difficulty on the fly. It's like, listen, this is how the game's going to be, and you got to get used to it. Now, I think a game should have a difficulty option. You should be able to change the difficulty if you're having trouble, but I don't want a game to automatically do it for me. As long as it's an option, I'm cool with it. If the game's going to decide for me that it needs to be easier, no, I don't like that. You know, sometimes you get stuck on a level and it takes a few times to get through, and you know, when you do get through, that sense of satisfaction is really great, and it's not there if, you know, you've gone through a level 3 times and then you go back in the 4th time and you realize that, you know, half the enemies are missing because the game has decided, well, you can't beat it like this, so we're going to help you out. Oh man, just talking about it irks me. I can get all these, right? Oh, it's not worth it. 100-point carrots, really worth taking a hit? No. What? Well, I guess I'm going... I was trying to pick... I guess I'll pick the fastest way to get to the boss, so I'm not playing forever. Level 1, I'm sure I'm going to die now that I say this, but level 1 is not all that difficult, so... or stage 1. So anyway, yeah, I always am interested to see what players today think. Because I have, you know, oh my god, I'm 36. So I've been playing games for a long time. And I started... Oh boy. I want this. I started on the Atari. I had a 7800. So I played a lot of those games. Like, my first games were like... Pitfall, and the Atari conversion of Pac-Man and stuff like that. And I played in arcades too. I played like Spy Hunter and all that whenever those came out. So I have like roots in like certainly the earlier days of gaming, not the earliest. But I'll go this way. There are games like on the earlier games for Atari platforms where even I'm like, there's just, you know, I got no problem with the graphics. The graphics being rudimentary doesn't bother me at all, but the gameplay is like, ooh, the gameplay is like, I just am not having fun. Like, there's nothing to do here. But I don't want to say I'm like that about all old games, because I'm not. Like, there's still classic games that I really like Space Invaders, I definitely think is fun, and oh boy, Pong I think is fun. Oh, damn it. Oh, do I have something to protect? No, I don't. So I can get my fun out of those games, definitely. But, you know, I often hear, obviously I'm all over the internet for what I do on Go Nintendo, and I hear a lot of, or read a lot of different opinions. And I do hear people who are like, who will go play NES games who didn't have an NES when they were growing up, and you know, their first system was the N64. Even nowadays, it seems more like the GameCube is their first system, because you know, that's what was out when they were a kid. And they'll go to play an NES game and they're like, oh my god, this is terrible. Like, how could people play this? It's more often than not, I hear that it's very difficult. And I can't disagree with that. Those games were certainly difficult. I think it made this generation of gamers, as in my generation, a lot more patient and forgiving, which, you know, is good and bad. Perhaps we shouldn't have been so forgiving, but that's, you know, that's what games were when we grew up, so we got used to it. And, oh boy, gamers today, you know, more of the, we'll say, oh, I'm stuck. Gamers today more of like the GameCube, PlayStation, what was that, 2, Xbox generation. Games were a little, you know, weren't as janky, I guess you would say. Certainly in other ways they were janky, but not like some of the earlier NES or Super Nintendo games were. So it makes you wonder, like, I don't want to say anybody's in the right or the wrong here, but it makes you wonder, having missed out on growing up with those games and going back to play them now isn't exactly the same thing. So, oh, there's only 2 left. I'm going for it. So people respond differently, and like I said, nobody's right or wrong, just an interesting perspective. So, yeah, I mean, you guys are watching, some of you are watching me play this game. Let me know what you think. Do you think it looks interesting? Do you think it'd be fun if you were with, if you had other people playing? Are you not interested unless you had other people playing? Or is it just too classic for you? Because, like I said, this is very old school. Oh boy, for those of you who listen to the podcast, even though he hasn't been on in a while because he's a dad and he's busy, Lube is a huge fan of both Smash TV and Gauntlet, and I know he's going to love this game. When I found out this was coming to Switch, I was like, oh my god, I got to tell him this is his kind of game. And it's just, I couldn't tell you why he loves them so much, but he just finds them fun. They're kind of mindless, and they're kind of really intense, and it's not a genre you see too often nowadays. Alright, is this thing good or not? I guess it is. Oh, I'm leveling up. It makes sense now. Well, I made it through a whole level. So yeah, I'm interested to, or whole floor, I'm interested to see what some of my friends think of this, because they're all my age pretty much, so they're used to games like this. I got a couple friends that are really into Gauntlet. Oh boy, it's starting off bad. Alright, I'm not going to keep playing, and you guys watch the video and watch me die, because I think I might be able to hang in this game for a while. So I'm going to end it here. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. And I'll be back soon with another video. So thank you, and I'll catch you later.